Hello and welcome to the Good Imaginations podcast. Tonight we will journey to the Royal Bakery, where you can unwind, reorient yourself, and, if you would like, fall fast asleep. Before we begin our adventure, make sure you're settled. If you are seated, get comfortable. Listen to your spine and relax your shoulders. If you are lying down, get your covers and pillow where you want them. Create your nest. Very good. Now, take 3 deep breaths with me in preparation for the journey ahead. Let go of your day and travel to a vacation for your mind. Imagine with me. See, smell, and be present. Breathe with me now, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Slow and even. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Now, shut your eyes and let's drift off to the site of tonight's adventure. You stand in the small room, the preparing room, off to the side of the Royal Bakery, and you take a deep breath. The preparing room has mahogany walls. It is brightly lit, no bigger than a closet. Each crisp white apron of each baker hangs on a trim little peg. You take yours down, put the loop over your head, and tie the strings tight around your waist. The cloth of the apron is heavy, solid, in a comforting way. The apron is as white as new snow. Although it won't be white anymore when you've finished. You're about to make it a splatter canvas of pink frosting. Dressed in your apron, you stand up taller, feel your spine arch proudly from your neck to your tailbone, and then you open the door of the preparing room. You step into the Royal Bakery, and you are immediately met with a wash of golden smells and steam. It is warm in the bakery. Not too hot, and besides, a moment ago your hands were chilled from the castle's cold stone corridors. Here is nothing but light and warmth and bustle, and the scent of powdered sugar. With a grin, you march across the red brick floor to the wooden center table. The bakery is wonderful. High ceilings with huge windows that look out on the snow-piled castle gardens. Huge copper pots and herbs dangle from the ceiling. A copper oven gleams and glows, and a copper cauldron hangs over a bustling fire. The fireplace is 6 feet long, popping and crackling, and you see a few of your baking friends cheerfully making donuts in the cauldron. Today is the anniversary of when the King and Queen first met, and they have ordered a host of goodies for the occasion. Pink cookies shaped like hearts, cream puffs, hundreds of tiny square cakes, petit fours, little blueberry and raspberry tarts, and, most importantly, a 6-tier cake, pink, as smooth as glass, with white roses. You are the head baker, so the cake will be your job. You feel determined, alight. It's wonderful to have such a daunting project you know you'll do well. You wash your hands, and then you simply stand there, in your white apron, staring at the room. It's a bit daunting to actually begin. You feel nestled by the piles of snow against the floor-to-ceiling windows, and you find yourself briefly contemplating the color white. Pure white, the concept of an entirely blank space. Like your apron, waiting for art to begin. You also think of the night sky, of the beautiful potential of pure black, and you find yourself dreaming of a starry cake, something inky and covered in small mirrors and stars. Another time. For now, there's work to be done. You chat with the others as you fill your bowl with all the ingredients necessary for a large cake. This bowl will only spread to the first 3 pans, you think, as you crack yet another egg. There is something so wonderfully satisfying about cracking an egg. These eggs are brown, mottled, from the royal chickens, and each yolk is so golden it's almost orange. You love to watch them plop, gently, like tiny suns, into the snowdrifts of sugar inside your bowl. You crack one, and then carefully trade the yolk from one shell to the next, so only the egg white has journeyed down into the bowl. You then slide the yolk into your hand. You let it rest directly in the center of your palm. The weight of it is wonderful. Delicate, heavy, watery, and so yellow. It's a pure kind of experience, like stepping barefoot into the ocean or smelling a rose. Holding the egg yolk in your palm is a quiet interaction with nature. You let this yolk plop into the bowl, and half an hour later, after quite a bit of vigorous stirring and whisking and adding delicate drops of vanilla, you have cake batter. It smells fluffy and sugary and maddeningly tasty with vanilla. You are not above enjoying a bit of your own cake batter. It's the principle of the thing. You have to taste test it, don't you? You flick a curl of batter onto a clean wooden spoon, and you lick off the end. It melts in your mouth like a cross between cotton candy and cookie dough. You spin the batter into the cake pans. You smooth the tops tenderly with your wooden spoon. Then it is on to the oven, on to the next batch of batter, and so on and so forth. An hour later, your cheeks are warm from the bustle of the oven, and you have 6 cakes, fluffy, solid, cooling on the wooden table. They are so well done. You stop for a moment to be proud of yourself. You remember your first time baking. It was a disaster. Eggshells in the batter, a sunken center, burnt edges. You had been so disappointed, because you knew right away that you wanted baking to be a lifelong passion. You knew that you wanted to be good at it, to enjoy it. But what was enjoyable about failing so hard? Now, years later, you don't think there's a single person in the kingdom who can bake with the finesse that you do. These things take time. So many times. So many eggs. So many attempts. Pushing past the failure of the first 10 tries was all it took to discover something thrilling. When your cakes have cooled, you frost them in a thin, glassy pink frosting that tastes vaguely of marshmallows. Then you stack them, carefully, pleased with the perfect precision of it, each cake dead center and beautifully even. It is a pink paradise, and now you add a second layer of pink icing, until nothing has ever looked so pink and pure and smooth, except perhaps for a rose petal. Speaking of roses, your last touch is to sculpt the white flowers. You grab your piping bag, which is stuffed with fluffy, glassy white frosting. You curl a petal down, on the edge of the bottom cake, then another petal. It is so satisfying to watch it ooze out, not a single bubble or blemish in the frosting. Each stroke is perfect, like ice, and the delicate balance between the frosting being soft and light, yet solid and holding its shape firmly, is wonderful to watch. It's delightful to squeeze out petal after petal, careful, artful, as you slowly cover the cake with white roses. Yes, it is going to be a beautiful day.